Hey everyone, I am Samantha Tiara and welcome back to CHATS TV. We are live here at Morty's Comedy Joint in Indianapolis. We just saw the amazing, phenomenal Miss Coco Brown, and now I have one of her counterparts that also tore it down, wow. Mr. Rodney Perry. How's it going, sir?
Hey baby, how you doing?
I'm good, and yourself?
I'm good. Yeah, I'm great. We're having a good time tonight, man. Coco Brown and friends. Coco invited me to come out here to Naptown and kick it, and it's been a ball so far.
Okay, so let's talk about comedy and, how you got your start and what it means to you. So the first question I have for you is, how did you get your start in comedy?
Oh, wow. I think we have a lot of starts. I had a teacher in second grade that would let me tell jokes at the end of the day if I would shut up throughout the course of the day. But, I wouldn't find it as a profession much later on. But, the short answer, how did I get started? A little kid from Chicago that wanted to tell some jokes,
Okay, Chicago. Now, you said that you was a little kid, you want to tell some jokes. When it comes to your material, how do you find your material? Is it just through life experiences or what? How do you get your material?
It comes from a lot of places, mostly life experiences. If you're a part of my life, you'll probably end up in my act some kind of way. I talk about my wife, and, I had a stroke last year, so that became a part of my show. And, as a comedian, our bigger purpose is to lighten the collective burden. So what people come to a show and they might be dealing with whatever, and so for a few minutes you get to depart from it. So to answer your question, material comes from everywhere. You become a student of life and a reporter like you are.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so when it comes to being on stage and you're, at a show like tonight, what drives you to making sure the audience is having a good time?
I just want to make people laugh. I love it. If you could find what you love to do and do that for a living, you'll never work a day in your life, and I refuse to work.
I hear that. I hear that. Yeah. Now, speaking on comedy, kind of taking it back a little bit, who are some of the comedians that you looked up to, whether it's when you were starting and even now, as you're growing in the industry?
There's a lot of folks, man. Eddie Murphy was definitely part in my formative years, the person I saw that made me believe I could do that. But there are people that you're familiar with. Said the Entertainer took me on the road. One of my first cities I ever came on the road was right here in Indianapolis. And Kim Whitley, Monique, all these people mentored me along the road. And but there's people that you never heard of. There's John Austin who was my mentor. He was my mentor as I was coming up, and you made me never heard of him. Or a guy named Tony Royster who told me years ago. He said, Rodney, why you got that stuff in your pockets? I was on stage, all kind of stuff. He's like, you got too much stuff in your pockets. And to this day, I don't walk on stage with anything in my pockets, just because of that moment.
Wow, that's a good teaching moment right there. Now, most comedians, they kind of have their style of comedy that they like to do. Do you have like a particular style or something, a subject matter that you absolutely love to touch bases on, in your performances?
That's a great question. I like to call myself, I used to watch karate movies when I was a kid, and there was this movie called The Five Deadly Venoms. And so basically in that movie, you had to master different styles of kung fu or judo. And so I try to be a master of different styles of comedy. I can stand flat-footed and deliver a joke. I do a lot of energy stuff. I can do music stuff. I can do all of that stuff. And so my show, because of that, my show is kind of well-rounded. And through the course of 45 minutes, an hour, I'm going to hit you. And my style is bust you in the face.
Bust you in the face. Okay, now, so what are some things that you do, off the stage? I know that, I
got 6 kids, so I'm doing a lot of sex. Mostly what I do on stage.
You heard it from here. You heard it here first. So what do you like to do?
Game is weak. I'm sorry.
No, you good. So what do you like to do off stage from, alongside comedy?
You know what? When I'm not telling jokes, when I'm not performing, I'm probably playing John Madden football. That's my pastime. That's what I use to kind of clear my head. And we were talking about off air. We were talking about different charity functions. I'm actually developing a nonprofit to mentor the youth. And so basically it'll be like a situation like, say for instance, if I had a kid that showed some interest in doing interviews, I would connect it with you. And so that's kind of what it is, and working on getting that going. And now my new passion is, making people aware of strokes, because I had a stroke, and if I had known the symptoms, I could have avoided it.
Awesome. Now, speaking of your stroke, how did that kind of change your view or your outlook on life?
Oh man, you know what? I mean, I laid in the hospital bed and I was asking God. I was like, dude, you could have texted me this stroke stuff, okay? And it really, my outlook changed in this respect. I mean, we're always trying to get out to the next thing. We're always working on, the big goal. I want to be superstar, whatever. But going through this stroke made me really reduce my goals. My goals are not different, but it made me focus on the littler goal, which is just make the step toward where you're going now. Make one step. If you can make one step toward your goal each day, you will get there.
Awesome. Now, I want to touch on a really, really quick topic, because I know that, you and Monique, you guys have a history. It's a great friend. She has a podcast, and I absolutely love the podcast. I listen to it every week, and I've listened to a couple episodes where you've actually called in.
Right.
Yeah. So if you have not listened to the podcast, and as you can attest, lately she's been talking about
Sydney and Monique Open Relationship, I think is the name of it.
Yeah. Monique and Sydney's Open Relationship. Yeah. Download that on iTunes. Trust me, thank you. You'll thank me later. But with the, with the latest episode, she's been talking about, being blackballed in Hollywood. What is your take on that as someone that is in the entertainment industry? How do you feel about that?
Hey, I was telling my boy the other day, I'm trying to figure out how to get blackballed. If you ain't gonna get blackballed if don't nobody give a damn about you. So no, man. Long and the short of it is, it's something that didn't just happen to Monique. It kind of happens to all African American actors. I mean, you look at the industry as it relates to blacks, and you go like, how could you get an Oscar? Like, imagine you were working your job wherever you work, and you did the best thing that you could do on that job, and you didn't get a promotion. That's really what Monique is saying. Like, how do I not get a bump in pay? How do I not get an offer that's better than the offer I got last month? And so because of that, and she's just fair. Like, I know Monique to be one of the fairest people I've dealt with in this industry. And if she says certain things happen, it probably did. Now would I have handled it the same way? Maybe not. But don't do it if you don't want her to say nothing about it.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you mentioned that, because I was actually just thinking about this very topic. She's someone that mentioned the subject. She's someone that made it out in the open.
She's Rosa Parks. This is the thing about taking a stand. It's never popular at the moment. I mean, people like all of us, Martin Luther King was a great man. Yeah, he was a great man, but there was a lot of people said, dog, he needs to sit down.
Right.
It was a lot of people that said that. There was a lot of people that took, that was like, yo, man, these white folks good to us. So it might be unpopular when you say it in the time, but history might show different.
You know what? And again, I think that I commend her for definitely bringing that topic out. I personally was just thinking about it just from my own personal life, working in corporate America, and how oftentimes, we get blackballed as well, just as you said. So I'm glad she mentioned that. So kind of switching gears a little bit, let's talk a little bit about the entertainment industry, social media. Are you on social media these days? Oh yeah, I believe in social media. I think it works. Never before have we had so much power in terms of getting our product to the end user. Like, 20 years ago when I started, you had to get on television. Now you have your phone, you have your camera, you can record, and you can get out to the people that love you, like right now. And so social media works. My website rodneyperry.com is kind of my hub for everything, but most of my social media is Rodney Perry or Rodney Perry Live. Awesome. And then last thing, what's next for you? What's next? I got a couple of films coming down the pipe. I'm also doing a play in October, and what else is coming? Oh, and I'm touring. It's called the Fast and the Funny Tour. FAST is the acronym they use to identify strokes. If you see somebody and their face is drooping, they display arm weakness, or they have speech slurring, they may be in trouble. They may be having a stroke. So it's the Fast and Funny Tour. It's Rodney Perry. I had a stroke, so I'm fast and I'm funny as hell. Well, again, thank you so much for giving me some of your time. I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you.
And I know our viewers are going to appreciate it as well. Say hi to everyone. So again, I am Samantha Tiara, and you have caught a very live exclusive with CHATS TV live in Indianapolis at Morty's Comedy Joint.